Okay, at this point, it's important to pause for a second and talk about the cells for just a minute. For example, I'm going to type up here in this cell right here. This is cell C1. C because it's in column C, 1 because it's in row 1. You can see that the column and the rows light up. And you can also see up here, this is called the name box. You can see the cell you clicked on because it tells you it's cell C1, right? So I can say relative frequency up here. And it knows, hey, you want the relative frequency, right, in that column, in that row. All right, now here's where the fun's going to begin. What I want is the relative frequency. Now, there are a lot of ways you can do this, like a lot. But I want to teach you kind of a tricky way because it's a good thing to know how to do in Excel. But it's going to be a little bit tricky, so bear with me here. What I want to do when I want to find the relative frequency is I want to know this guy right here, the 58, and divide it by the 311, right? Because you want the frequency for that column divided by the total, right? Does that make sense? So look it over. But what I would really like is for Excel to know automatically that that's what I want for this whole column. I want Excel to say, hey, you like that formula so well, I'll fill it down the whole rest of the column for you. Okay, now the way to get Excel to fill a column for you, there's several ways to do it, but you kind of take your cursor over to the far right side. See this little corner, how there's like a different kind of box in that corner? It's called the handle. You move your cursor so that it's over it and it turns, look at that. It turns into this black plus sign. See that, how it moves into that? And when you do that, when it's right over and it's hovering over that bottom right corner, you can double click and it'll fill in the rest of the column for you. Now, it filled in the column wrong, but that's okay. Bear with me. We'll fix that in a second. But let's see what it did. You took it, you double clicked, it filled in. Now, this top one's great. This top one takes cell B2, which is the 58, and divides it by B7. Groovy, okay? But when you move down one, what it does is it moves the blue box you had, B2, turned into B3, but it also moves the denominator, the green box, from B7 down to B8. Well, that's no good. We want it to stay B7, right? And then the next one, it made it B4. It moved it down another one, but it also moved the green box down another one. Well, that's no good. And notice what it's saying. It's saying division by 0, right, with the exclamation point. You can't divide by 0. Not now, not ever, right? And Excel won't do it because it can't be done. So Excel's freaking out on you, and that's what these little symbols mean. All right, so there has got to be a way to make it so that the B and the 7 never change. So that's what we really want, right? We want this 311 to stay the same for every single one of these boxes. And the way to do that is to give it dollar signs. I know it seems crazy, but that's how they did it when they made Excel. If you give the B a dollar sign and the 7 a dollar sign, so you go dollar sign B, dollar sign 7. The dollar sign tells Excel never change this, no matter what. Always talk about 311. That number in cell B7 doesn't change. Okay, now I can go back up on that cell that has the dollar signs on it. I go to the right-hand corner, I make the little plus sign, I double click, and they all fill in. And while I'm on the subject, can't I check with the AutoSums? Remember AutoSum over here. Or you can actually just type equals sum of this column. And it should make, and it does, 1, right? And you're thinking, how did you do that? Look at the formula. Equals sum of C2 colon C6. C2 is up here, and the colon means the word 2, T-O, C6. Or you could just use the AutoSum feature over here. That's fine. And now you've got all your relative frequencies. And if you said, oh, no, I miscounted. There were 75 here. You could change it to a 75 and look, everything changes automatically. That's the difference. If you just type equals 58 divided by 311, then if something goes wrong and you have to change a number, nothing changes. But by using cell references like this, everything automatically changes. And that's a really awesome thing. All right, we're done with making that. I'll see you next time for some graphs. See you, bye.